Place value is a way of showing what a number is worth, and partitioning, the word partition just means to split. So when we partition a number, we split it up into its different areas of place value to show what that number is worth. Here we have an abacus. Now, this first stick of the abacus here, this is going to be to show the number of units we have, or the number of ones. And then this stick here, this one is going to show the number of tens. So if I wanted to show the number 1 on my abacus, I'd just have one bead. If I wanted to show the number 2, I'd have 2 beads. And I could keep going. This would be number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9. Now, the most beads I can fit on my units is 9, because once I count past 9, I get to the number 10. The number 10 is shown slightly differently. The number 10 is shown as 1 10 and no units. We can see that here we've got one bead on the tens column and nothing on the units. So I could write this is the number 10. Let's have a look at a few examples and see if we can work out what number the abacus is showing us. Okay, let's look here. So in the units column we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that this is showing us the number 4. Okay, let's look at the abacus now. We can see that we have on the units stick we've got 1, 2, 3. So we can write 3 underneath the units, and then on the tens stick we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know we have 5 tens. We know that 5 tens is 50, and we can see that we have 53. We could count in a slightly different way. We could say, well, okay, let's count the tens. We've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and we've got 1, 2, 3 units. So we've got 53 in total. Okay, what number do we think we have here shown on our abacus? Have a try, pause the video and see what answer you get. Okay, have you got an answer? Let's see how you did. So we have 2 units, 1, 2. You can write the number 2. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens, which makes the number 62. Okay, let's try this one. What number is shown on this abacus? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. So we can say we have the number 74. So when we partition a number, what we're doing is we're thinking, how would that number be split if it was on an abacus? Let's take the number 32. We can partition this number just like we did on the abacus, and we're going to partition it into tens and units. If you want to, you can draw yourself the abacus sticks to help. So this is our units, and we have 2, so we can draw ourselves 2 little beads on the abacus. And then our tens, we've got 3 tens. 2, 3. So when we partition, we want to partition our number into tens and units. So we have 3 tens, which we know is 30. And we have 2 units. So we can say that we've partitioned the number 32 into 30 and 2. And if we add 30 and 2 together, we get 32. Let's try another example. This time we're going to take the number 54 and we're going to partition it. So we can think about, we've got our tens and we have our units. Now we've got 5 tens. Now we know that 5 tens is 50. If we were counting up in tens 5 times, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then we also have 4 units. So we've got 50 plus 4 units is 54. And what we've done here is we have partitioned the number into tens and units. So you can try the next one. The next number is 68. Now you can partition that, you can pause the video and partition that into tens and units. Okay, let's see how we've done. So we know we have 6 tens and 8 units. 6 tens is 60, and we have 8 units. So we've partitioned 68 into 60 plus 8. What about if we wanted to look at slightly bigger numbers? Okay, let's go back to our abacus again. Now you'll notice that this abacus is a little bit bigger. It's got another straight line, another stick here, and you'll see here that we have the units like we had before, then we had tens, and we've got an extra one. We've got the hundreds. So let's have a look at our abacus. Okay, let's have a look here. We have on the unit stick, we've got 1, 2, 3. So we know we have 3 units. Then on the 10 stick we have 1 10. So we can say we have 1 10. And then on the 100 stick we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 hundredths. So this abacus shows us the number 513. 5 hundredths, 1 10 and 3 units. We can partition this number in exactly the same way we did before. We can say, okay, we want to split it into hundreds, tens and units. So first of all, we've got 5 hundredths. Now if we were to look at our abacus here, we could count up in hundreds. We've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So we can write the number 500. Now, what's going to add to that? Well, on the tens, we have 1 10. And 1 10, we would write 10. And to add to that, we're going to look at the units. And here we can see we've got 3 units. So we can write down 3 units. So what we've done here is we've partitioned the number 513, and we've partitioned it into 500, 10, and 3. Let's try another one. Okay, let's look at our abacus here and have a look at the number that is shown on our abacus. Have a look, pause the video and see if you can work out what number is shown. So we have in the hundreds column, we have 3 hundredths. So we can write the number 3 for the hundreds. And then in the tens column, we have 2 tens. So we can write the tens column, we've got 2. And then the units column, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can write the units column is 4. So hopefully you got this right and you created the number 324. And we can partition this number and we can think to ourselves, right, so 300s we know that's 100, 200, 300. And then we have 2 tens. 2 tens is 20. And then we have 4 units. So if we've partitioned this number, we end up with 320 and 4, which creates the number 324. Let's look at another example. Okay, pause the video and see if you can work out what number is shown on this abacus. So we have 1, 2, 3 hundredths. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. So this abacus shows the number 358, and we can partition this. The number 358 is made up of 300 and 50 and 8. So there we go, that's how you partition and show place value on an abacus.